Yesterday, I downloaded a new app, and just like every Nigerian on this earth, I saw this on my screen, and I did this. Here is the thing: we do this every single time, every app, every update, every our terms have changed email that we immediately delete without opening. And today, I need you to sit down, because I actually read the terms and conditions and privacy policies of the kind of fintech apps most Nigerians use every day. Tens of millions of Nigerians use these apps, and almost none of them have read the terms and conditions. I have. So let's go. Let's start from the very beginning. Almost every Nigerian fintech app's terms of service opens with some version of this line: these terms constitute a legally binding contract between you and the company. A contract, not a suggestion, not a friendly agreement, a legally binding contract. Welcome back to The Gap, where we take what institutions and companies put in fine print and translate it into plain everyday English. Today, we are not talking about a government policy. We are talking about something you voluntarily signed up for. Those mobile money and payment apps on your phone, the ones you use to send your friend a share of the bill, pay your DSTV, buy airtime at midnight, receive your salary when your bank is giving you attitude. The moment you ticked that box, you entered into a legal agreement with a tech company at what? 11 p.m. when you were trying to send money and your bank app crashed again. No lawyer present, no negotiation, no chance to cross out the parts you don't like. You just agreed. When you sign up for any of these payment apps, here is the standard data they collect: your name, your email, your phone number, your BVN, your debit card details. Fine. It's a financial app. That makes sense. But then, it gets more interesting. When you make a transaction, send money, buy airtime, pay a bill, they also collect the amount, the recipient information, and your device information. In many cases, your geolocation, your location. So this app knows that at 2:47 a.m. on a Saturday, you sent 5,000 naira from your apartment in Lekki to a contact saved as Big Brother. They know most of these apps retain your data for a minimum of 5 to 7 years for business, compliance, legal purposes. Some say they can keep it even longer if they deem it necessary. Now you might be thinking, okay, fine, they have my data, but it stays with the company, right? Standard fintech privacy policies list several categories of parties they may share your personal data with. Let me read you just the category names. Third-party service providers, who helps process your transactions. Other financial institutions they partner with. The other party in a transaction, meaning in some cases, the person you are sending money to can receive some of your information. Law enforcement and government agencies, if required by court order, or if the company determines that disclosure is necessary or appropriate. Credit bureaus, any company that acquires or merges with this app in the future. That last one, if the app you're using gets acquired, if a bigger company buys them, your data goes with the deal. Like a furniture in a house sale, you don't get a vote. You already agreed. Now, to be fair, most of this is a standard practice globally, not something unique to Nigerian apps. But standard doesn't mean harmless. It means you should know it. If you have a dispute with any of these companies, say they wrongly debit your account or something goes wrong with a transaction, many of their terms says something like this: any dispute arising shall be submitted to arbitration before a sole arbitrator. Let's break that down. Arbitration is a private dispute resolution process. It's not a courtroom. It's not a judge. It's a private arbitrator, and the decision they reach is often described as final and binding on the parties. Final, binding. Now, some of these apps conduct arbitration under Nigerian rules, which is better, but some reference foreign institutional rules. Either way, the key thing is most everyday Nigerians don't know that by agreeing to the terms, they may have already signed away their straightforward path to a Nigerian court. If you're a student, a market trader, a small business owner, and something goes wrong, your route to justice could be a private arbitration process that costs money to initiate and that most people have never even heard of. Under Nigerian law, specifically the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act, consumers have rights that companies cannot simply contract away. But the problem isn't the legality. The problem is that most people will never know this clause exists, and the company will. And just to finish the picture nicely, almost everyone on these apps reserves the right to modify their terms and privacy policy at any time, with or without prior notice. You'll probably get a notification, you probably dismiss it, and just like that, the contract you are living under has quietly changed. It's like signing a lease where the landlord has the legal right to rewrite the clauses whenever they want. Your only option is to move out, or in this case, delete the app. Okay, I know everything I've said so far sounds bleak. So here is the other side, and this is the part I most want you to remember. Under Nigeria's Nigeria Data Protection Act, the NDPA, which became law in 2023, you have legal rights over your personal data. These are not suggestions. They are enforceable rights, and any company collecting your data while operating in Nigeria is legally required to respect them. Here is what you are entitled to. 1. The right to know. You can ask any company what data they hold about you. They are required to tell you, and you can ask for a copy. 2. The right to correct. If your information is inaccurate or outdated, you can demand they fix it. 3. The right to erasure. Under certain conditions, if the data is no longer needed or if you withdraw your consent, you can ask them to delete your data, and they must comply unless they have a specific legal reason not to. 4. The right to object. You can object to your data being used for direct marketing at any time. The company must stop. 5. The right to data portability. You can request your personal data in a structured format and even have it transferred to another provider. These rights exist. They are in Nigerian law. The question is, do you know they are yours? The body responsible for enforcing these rights is the Nigeria Data Protection Commission, the NDPC. If a company violates your data rights, you can file a complaint with them. If you have suffered a verifiable data breach and a company failed to notify you, that is a reportable offense. These apps are genuinely useful, sometimes essential. When your bank's app is down, when you need to move money at midnight, when the USSD stops working, these tools matter. But here is what I want you to walk away with. 1. Read the summary at least. You don't have to read every clause, but open the privacy policy and search for these words: share, third party, retain, arbitration. 5 minutes, you'll know the shape of what you are agreeing to. 2. Know your rights under the NDPA. If a company collects your data without proper consent, uses it in a way you never agreed to, or fails to secure it properly, you can report it. 3. Check your app's permissions. When you install any app, look at what you are granting access to: location, contact, camera, microphone. Grant only what is necessary for the app to actually work. Anything beyond that, ask yourself why. 4. Document and escalate when things go wrong. If a wrong debit happens, a transaction fails, and your money doesn't return, or you suspect your data has been misused, document it. Report it through the app first, then escalate. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, the FCCPC, is another avenue for consumer complaints. You have more tools than you think. You just need to know they exist. You agreed to terms you didn't read. So did I. So did almost everyone watching this video right now. But you know what's in there? And knowing is always the beginning of being able to protect yourself. That's exactly what the gap is for. To close the distance between what these documents actually say and what your everyday life looks like. If this was useful, share with one person, your friend who just downloaded a new payment app, your mom who uses mobile money every day, your colleague who gets a tense updated email and immediately deletes it. Because the gap closes faster when we close it together. Drop a comment. Which kind of apps terms would you want me to break down next? Insurance, social media, buy now, pay later, loan apps? Let me know. Thank you for watching this episode. See you in the next one.